What's up? It's your boy Adelante here to give you another video to help you, the independent rapper, singer, and artist along your journey.
Adelante, make the beat drop.
Now today, I'm excited to bring you this video because it's something that's super important for every independent artist. It's coming up with a release strategy for your next music, for your next single, for your next EP, your next mixtape, album, whatever it may be. You have to have a release strategy. Now, one of the things that I've seen happen way too often is I've noticed independent artists, and this is not to your fault at all, because a lot of you are just learning this. You create a song or you create an album, you create an EP, whatever it may be, and you're very excited about it. You've put a lot of your hard-earned time into it. You put your blood, sweat, and tears and your emotions into the lyrics, into the music, everything, right? You drop it, crickets, right? Your family may be into it, your best friends are gonna be giving you your props, sharing it, whatever, but from the audience that you hope to bring in, that's where it's lacking. And this is why I'm here to break down what you should be doing and how you should be doing this to better help you get in front of the eyes and the ears that you want to get in front of. So let's jump into it. Now, first and foremost, right? This is taking into account that you're already putting in the time and the effort to, one, get your music to a level that is going to be able to be basically like industry quality, right? And that means you're mixing, you're mastering, all of that, right? So if you're still not there yet, make sure you're continuously practicing. Like, that's something you have to do on a daily basis in order to build up that microphone confidence, in order to build up, if you're mixing and mastering your own work, the techniques to get your vocals to stand out and to get those beats to knock hard, if that's what you're looking for, right? So that's off to the side, right? You have to have that quality music there. But now jumping into the content and the release strategy specifically, here's tip number one. Tip number one being, you want to have all of your music done, completed, finished, mastered, everything, at least 2 to 3 months ahead of your potential release date, right? Now that means if I'm looking to drop, right now it's April, if I'm looking to drop in May, I might want to consider pushing it back. But I have to have my music completely done. Like, I'm not sitting there making last minute changes or, switching things up. Like, it's gotta be done and ready to go. So if I'm today in April, May, June, July, I may be eyeing a July release date, right? Midsummer. So in consideration of my branding, right, and the way that my album sounds, is July a realistic time that I can see my album and my songs fitting into that sort of summer vibe, right? Maybe it is. Maybe you already have a sort of niche audience that regardless when you drop, they're going to gravitate towards it. But regardless, you want to start having your songs done at least 2 to 3 months ahead of time. This is going to give you a lot more time and the needed time to put together the content in order to market your project. And this is what we're going to get into next. Now, step number 2, before we jump into the content and getting all that out there, it's setting clear goals, clear metrics of measurement for you. Now, this isn't a uniform thing that every artist is going to have the same goals and expectations. No, depending on where you are in your career, depending on what you've already analyzed for yourself in the past with past releases, maybe this might be your first release, right? Set your goal, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to track if it was a success or if you need to go back to the drawing board and reassess things. Now, I don't like to use the word failure because you're always constantly learning. Like, if you release something and it doesn't meet up to the expectations that you hoped for, right? Then you don't technically fail, you're just learning. Okay, well, this strategy didn't work, or this rollout didn't work. I need to go back and tweak a few things. Maybe my visuals weren't on point. Maybe my music still isn't at the point. Maybe I need to do a lot more one-to-one outreach or one-on-one outreach, right? Of course, with little note on the side, please don't spam, because That's the number one way people are going to just disregard and dismiss your music, right? But reaching out one-on-one and building up relationships can definitely help. But set clear expectations for yourself, right? Are you looking to use your album as a way to gain new Spotify listeners? Are you focusing in on streams? Are you trying to reach 100 streams, 500 streams, 10,000 streams, right? Everybody's goals are going to be different, but you have to have a goal. You have to set that point to know where you want to get to in order to know if you've gotten there and you can level up, or you haven't quite gotten there and you need to go back and reassess things. Next, you want to have that music ahead of time, right? 2 to 3 months, because you want to submit to Spotify playlists, right? Or Apple Music playlists a long time in advance. Give yourself time, right? Submit your music, upload it to DistroKid or CD Baby or whatever distributor you have. Submit to the playlists, right? Now, again, I've said this before. Spotify has come out and said that at least 20 to 30,000 new songs are uploaded on a daily basis to their platform. So that means that if you upload 1 to 2 weeks ahead of time, you're not giving these curators enough time to get through your music or get to your music to listen to it. Because what they like to do is they like to have the music before it releases so that when it releases, they can already have it on a playlist. So if you are following these steps, you want to give yourself at least 2 to 3 months, right, to have your music uploaded, not released, and submitted to Spotify or Apple Music playlists. Next, you want to contact YouTube bloggers or YouTube reviewers to review your music, right? Now, the reason I'm talking specifically about YouTube reviewers is because there are pages dedicated with either hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of subscribers, millions of subscribers that will allow you to submit your music to an email. And each one is a little bit different, but that would allow you to submit your music to them. They're going to review it. They're going to either reach back out to you and say, okay, you've been approved. We're going to allow your song to be posted onto our YouTube page, right? That's exposure. You want to go that route because nothing is more powerful than the review or the recommendation coming from another trusted source, right? And that's why a lot of the times these artists that get co-signed by these big rappers, right? That's the ultimate thing. You get officially co-signed by a big rapper, a big artist, and that means that they've given you the stamp of approval, or that artist a stamp of approval that says, yes, this person is hot, you need to check them out, and everybody listens to them. Well, on the independent artist side, that's where these YouTube review pages or these Instagram review pages come into play, because these a lot of the times are places that people go to search out new music. So if they see your song or your video posted on there, they're gonna be like, oh, well, they thought it was good, so I'm gonna check it out. Most likely, they're gonna check it out. They're gonna see either your social handles, your Spotify links, and they're gonna go to subscribe to you if they love the song. So make sure you hit up these YouTube review pages because it's something super critical and super crucial to the rollout plan of an independent artist. Next, again, sticking to this 2 to 3 month ahead of time plan, right? Once you start rolling a little closer to the release date, right? 2 months ahead, once you start marketing your music, right? You're getting all your videos, you're getting all your photos, and now you're starting to create that pre-drop, that pre-release campaign, right? That's super, super important. You want to have a pre-release campaign that leads up to your release, right? You don't want to have absolute silence and no sort of marketing ahead of the release and then drop the cover art the day before and expect yourself to do numbers. Like, there's very few well-established artists that can do that, right? And I'm talking major artists. I'm talking Drake, J. Cole, Beyonce, Jay-Z, like Kendrick Lamar. These are the artists that can do that because they've already put in the consistency over the span of years, right? That they've reached that level that they're able to do that. As an independent artist who's trying to establish themselves, you don't have that luxury, right? So you want to create a pre-marketing campaign. You want to have photos, you want to have videos, you want to have recap videos of what you've actually been doing this whole time. You want to have behind the scenes videos, right? What comes to mind is when J. Cole and Dreamville, they released the Revenge of the Dreamers album. They created a whole behind the scenes video, and then they dropped it, and they gave everybody an experience that made them feel like they were a part of the process, right? That's what made it so impactful when they did drop it. Now, a key piece to this is creating and getting that pre-save link out. So usually that happens when you upload to DistroKid, or again, TuneCore, United Master, CD Baby, whatever distributor you have. That once you do that, they're gonna give you what's called either a hyperlink or a hyperfollow link. I'm sure you've seen them before. If you haven't, there's these links that you can put in like your Instagram bio, and when people tap on it, it shows the links of like, oh, you know, pre-save for Spotify, pre-save for iTunes, purchase ahead of time on iTunes, right? It just creates this little like this link on that you can share with everybody. So you want to have that. You want to create all the marketing material ahead of time, and then drive all that traffic to that pre-save link, right? Every piece of content you put out for the next month as you are rolling out your pre-marketing campaign in leading up to the drop needs to lead to that pre-save link. You can do things, because one of the features is that a lot of the times you can enable a feature that says share your email with the artist, right? An email is going to be your best friend, because then you can blast people on email, you can blast people on social media. A lot of the times, right, we're battling the algorithm, right? We'll say, oh, the algorithm doesn't favor us. The algorithm hates me. It's not putting my music in front of the people who follow me, right? I have 4,000 fans on Instagram, and I'm only getting like 30 likes, right? The Instagram algorithm hates me. It's partially true, right? It doesn't hate you. It does not hate you, but you have to play with and together with the Instagram algorithm, so that it's not hating you, it's favoring you, right? So if that's the case and you still feel that way, having emails is going to solve all of your problems. And that comes from that pre-save link. A person goes to pre-save your song. They say, yes, I would like to share my email with the artist. Boom, you get that email. You start building an email list. You now can update these people 100% of the way, right? So you have a month to contact these people on a consistent basis, connect with your fans, invite them to Zoom calls, invite them to listening sessions, invite them to behind the scenes, I'm finishing up doing X, Y, and Z sessions, right? Those emails are going to be your best friend, especially if you're just starting out and building your fan base. Next, you want to have your PR on point, right? As you're getting closer, you want to be reaching out to different places, different blogs or interviewers that can start covering or would like to cover your album release or your single release or what it may be, right? The reason is that it's going to cause a sort of a ripple effect, right? People are always interested in what's new and what's hot, and most importantly, into what's new and hot and not a lot of people know about. And this is what I mean. It's almost like the exclusivity. Like, have you ever found an artist, and I've heard this for forever, it's always happening. You find an artist and you're like, damn, nobody knows about this artist, right? But they're so good. 3-4 months later, they write a hit song, blow up all over the radio. You're now the person always saying, yeah, I knew that rapper before they were hot, before they were on, when they were still underground. Nobody knew them. And so there's this piece of like exclusivity to it, right? Having your PR on point can create that ripple effect of people wanting to know and having that fear of missing out, like, oh, this person is getting an interview here, right? I want to check that out when it drops. Or they're being covered by this page or this blog, right? Maybe it's a little bit more well-known blog. So then you're like, you have that piece to you and people are constantly wanting to be involved in that, right? And lastly is just getting your name out there more, right? Another thing that artists sometimes forget is SEO, search engine optimization, right? If your name pops up on blogs on a consistent basis in written form, then when people search up your name, you're going to start appearing more and more. A lot of the times, we only have our names on our Instagrams, on our YouTubes, on our Spotifys. That's not long form text that can really impact the searchability rate of your artist name. So the more you get featured on blogs, the more you get featured on different pages that are writing these interviews for you or on you, right, as they interview you, the more your name starts to pop up on Google searches. And again, ripple effect. You type in your name on Google, people find your Instagram or your Spotify or those articles, and then they start going there. These links are just little pieces, that different touch points that people can contact you at. And then that's how you start utilizing these interviews to really get your name and your music out there. So moral of the story is you want to have a release strategy. There's really no way around it. Please, if you've picked up anything from this video, do not continue going down that road of creating some amazing, dope music and not having the proper release strategy for it, only for it to just kind of sit there and not get the attention that I know it deserves. Because I've heard some artists drop, they'll share it with me, they'll share some music and I'm like, this is fire, like, is it out yet? And they'll be like, yeah. And then we kind of get into the conversation again of there not being any sort of release strategy. They just dropped it, right? So please, let's change up the narrative a bit. Let's change up the strategy. Let's get this pre-marketing down on point. If you still have questions, drop them in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would like me to cover next. I got a ton of topics, but if there's something specific that you're looking for, let me know. And again, if you're an artist, if you're a rapper, a singer, and you're looking for beats, hit up my Type Beat channel. It's got that chill vibe, bouncy drums, sometimes some swinging drums. Like, I'm constantly posting up beats on there. So head over there. My name is Adelante, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.